Alright guys, so in this video we're checking out the AcroBee75 from NewBeeDrone, and this is a 75mm whoop, so it's basically 75mm motor to motor, and has 40mm propellers. These are the new ASI 40mm propellers from NewBeeDrone, and we have the new, I think this is a 75mm cockroach frame, obviously for this size, and we have this carbon plate on the bottom for additional bracing and stiffness to keep the frame nice and stiff. So all of the motors and electronics, camera, everything here is stuff you've seen before in the original AcroBee, which is, I guess they're calling it the AcroBee65 now, because that was a 65mm whoop, so 65mm motor to motor on that one. Comes with the same flight controller boards, the B-Brain brushless, a V1 I think this one here. So it has a built-in video transmitter, and receiver is actually separate. So in this case, it's a crossfire receiver. So you got the little mini T and Immortal antenna in the back here for the crossfire receiver. And you can see the crossfire receiver right there. On the original AcroBee, they had the, I think it was one of these NewBeeDrone receivers on here with the diversity antennas on this one. So this one here, if you're worried about range on their receiver or whatever other version receiver you happen to get, crossfire of course is going to be the best, but it's going to be the heaviest as well. Got the same Goober canopy you can see here, and the same BI camera. It's got the same F4 flight controller with 12 amp 400 ESDs. The motors are also the same 0802s and 18,000 kV, and uses the same batteries, the 1S 300 milliamp hour battery. Now this board is 2S capable. It has 12 amp ESDs that are 2S capable. Mine did not come with the little 1S to 2S adapter, so I only flew mine on 1S, and I believe you can print a 3D printed part that can put a bigger tray in here for a 450 milliamp hour battery if you want more flight time. Now the main differences between the 65mm and the 75mm is that you're going to get a little bit more power, a little bit more flight time, because you have a bigger prop, and basically it's going to be more efficient as well. So you get roughly a minute more flight time versus the 65mm, but of course it is carrying more weight, and because it only has 0802 motors, it doesn't really have that much acro power, but it's still fast enough for basically like just whoop style racing. So if you're in a big open indoor space, this is going to be much faster than the 65mm. And let's just go ahead and show you the difference in the weights here. So the original 65mm was 23.25 grams, and then the 75mm version here is coming in at 29.14 grams. And if you get a different receiver version, it's going to weigh a little bit less. The crossfire receiver version is going to be the heaviest because of the big antenna here in the back. So basically, if you're wondering which one to get, I would say if you're in a bigger space, get the bigger one, the 75mm. It's a little faster. The 65mm is going to be more agile, but it's going to have a little bit shorter flight time. So if you're in a smaller space and you don't mind only flying around for, say, like 3 minutes on the 300 milliamp hour, this is the way to go. If you want more flight time, a little bit faster, but not really that, in terms of acroability, not really that much acroability, then get the 75mm. Now, if you're wondering how this compares to, say, like the opposite end of the spectrum of this category or this class, that would be the Moblite 7 that I reviewed a couple weeks ago. So while this is coming in at like 29 grams with everything here, I think the Moblite 7 is closer to like 21 grams, so it's like 30% less weight, less mass. But the trade-off is, when you have less weight, is you have less durability. So this frame here is very stiff, doesn't flex at all. This cockroach frame is very tough. It's going to handle a lot of crashes, no problem. Goober canopy is pretty much indestructible, so if you're going to be crashing a lot and worried about durability, then this is probably the way to go. If you're less worried about durability and you're more worried about performance at the expense of durability, then you probably want to go the other direction with something a lot lighter like the Moblite 7. So it kind of really depends on what you're looking for. There's no like one perfect whoop for everyone. Obviously, there's different sizes to meet the needs of different pilots. Some people like the smaller ones, some people like the bigger ones. There is no one perfect, one best whoop for everyone. So that's question is going to be out there. Which one's the best? That's my answer for which one's the best. Anyway, so here's a little more flight footage from this guy. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.